Hey everyone, rather Incoherent here, and there's some interesting stuff we need to be doing in this video. The Numidian Wars, we have the war on the Balkans finally going full swing from both directions. But first I want to take a second to breathe and just look at these screens. Now, the first thing that's important is I actually didn't know I had victory conditions. I thought I had to kill Gaul at some point, which would have been a waste of time because their land sucks. Like, I have no desire to ever go here. But apparently I'm remembering short victory conditions, and on a long campaign I just need Rome and 50 settlements, so that's great, I'm never going into Europe. But the second thing I notice is that apparently I made Carthage my capital at some point. I don't recall doing this, it clearly wasn't intentional, but I'll be making someone else my capital. And specifically I'll just be making Iridium back into my capital, and I'll go around and adjust taxes. Before I adjust taxes though, I am going to continue taxing as hard as I can right now. I still need money. I'm going to use most of my 7,000 hiring mercs, so I'm not really economically safe yet. Conquering a few more settlements and I'll probably be able to finally lower taxes and grow. And speaking of growing, I do want to try to get Batavium to 24,000 for the Marian reforms. I don't think it's going to be a good strategy. I think optimally you just try to get all your cities to 6,000, make Principes, and steamroll the game with that. But the Marian reforms are cool, and I'd be remiss to not try to do them and see if they were worth doing. Unfortunately, before I played this save, I just quickly enslaved this with this city having the only governor in my empire versus all of my cities ungoverned. And the results are the same. All of my cities gain about 50 population either way. I can't manipulate slave trade. I will still be enslaving as much as I can, because I want this to grow faster. I'm also going to be doing a trick where you recruit peasants here, which drains 240 population, walk them across the border to Batavium and disband them, which gives Batavium that 240 population. I'll be doing this in all three of its neighbors, and that does sort of suck for them, because it means that they're going to be growing that much slower and they're already smaller. But if you actually look at Batavium right now, you can see I'm right beneath the threshold for 6,000 population. So getting there faster will be nice, and I'll build communal farms, and once that finishes, I'll upgrade the city size. And actually, I don't need to do it just yet, if that's my reasoning. I'll do it in 2 turns when Batavium's about to finish the farms, that way it's not waiting to grow and having squalor problems. Now, looking through more of these tabs, I can see my current standings with the people in the Senate. I'm the best in both regards, but the people really don't like me enough, I have to conquer not more land. And the Senate loves me. The few insecure and, quite frankly, sadly deranged senators who feel threatened by others' popularity now rate you as one of their chief problems. They envy you. It's nice to hear. If I look at the faction rankings for everyone, I can see that in every category I'm near the top. And overall, I'm in second place to Egypt. And in military, I'm top dog. In production, I am, well, everyone's quite spiky, but I'm currently spiking the highest. In territory, I have the most. And finances, I'm near the bottom, because this isn't how much money you make, but how much you currently have at the end of a given turn. In population, I think that's me in the middle of the pack. Yeah. I'm 4th, which is honestly higher than I thought I would be. So, overall, we're doing quite well. If I look at my family tree, the one thing I find particularly useful here is looking at who's coming of age soon. And I only have one person coming of age in 2 years and no females to marry, so I don't have that much happening, but in the next 4 turns sometimes, Decius Julius will come of age in Iridium. It looks like on average I'm making about 2.7 thousand income a turn, which is a lot better than it's been, but not good enough to do everything I want. As you can see right now, most of my cities have just finished building something, and I have nowhere near enough money to make something in every city, as well as hire these mercenaries. And that's it for interesting charts. I'm going to go adjust taxes real quickly. Batavium staying on low, Segesta staying on low, and everyone else is just going as high as they can because I still need the money. Okay, next, this is not going to be a battle with Numidia. Their army is so terrible that I think they're just going to flee from my mercenaries. I'm going to walk most of the way to them, and then I'm going to stop at this border and hire my mercenaries. The reason I'm stopping halfway through is because if I hire them here, their mercenaries are on ground, and they won't actually have enough movement points, since they aren't cavalry, to reach the enemy. So I need to hire them about halfway through. And you can see that I can't actually attack this turn, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to move these cavalry up to this position, and then I'm going to move the rest of my army to this position, and the cavalry, who still have movement, can launch the attack with the other army as reinforcements. And now I'll merge the armies, and I'll make sure that both of these cities are recruiting units for the war with Numidia, which is apparently happening. 1 unit of Equites, 1 unit of Principes, that's plenty. It doesn't seem like it should be plenty, but Numidia's not a strong faction, and their armies are probably not particularly well organized. I'm very confident that Manius Julius will eventually handle this. Now this man is going to continue using what little money I have to build forts. And if I build a fort right here, the AI can technically walk around this. But they have to enter my zone of control 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5 actually, before they can finally leave and walk at a normal pace. So even though it won't technically stop them, it will effectively stop them long enough for me to have warning and do something about it. So this is a fight that should be so one-sided, I kind of want to auto-resolve it. And since all other units are missile units that are going to have infinite morale, I imagine auto-resolve is going to be just as good as actually fighting. No, I lost 300 men. Lesson learned. I will not be auto-resolving versus that bad of an army in the future. This city is never going to be important militarily. I would much rather enslave it to try to bounce back some population in the cities I've been recruiting from and help Batavium grow. Now let's consolidate our losses into as few units as possible. We'll be leaving behind 2 units of Astadi, unfortunately. And we'll walk this straight down to the next rebel settlement. Can this recruit Hastati? Nah. It will be fine though, and these Hastati are actually sort of a benefit now that they're injured, because it means that I can use even cheaper units than normal to garrison my fort walls. Because when you lose men, your upkeep goes down equivalently. So I'm going to be garrisoning forts here and here with these damaged Hastati. And I'll probably drop some watchtowers as I go to keep track of what's happening. And in Segesta, I will repair their walls and not their barracks. I don't care about that at all. Also, if their barracks is damaged, why can I recruit Town Watch? It seems like I shouldn't be able to. But regardless, I'm going to build roads here on this turn, because that will help me with my travel time on all of the stuff I'm currently doing. Now down here on Flavius Julius, I will be sieging Larissa. Just building as many rams as I can, even though one will do the job. And they have nowhere near enough to stop me. And the Brutii still haven't sieged Thurman, so I will be doing that myself. First, I'm taking everyone except for 1 unit of Hastati out of Athens to see what their population order looks like, or public order rather. I'll be lowering the taxes all the way to low so they'll stay happy. And I'm recruiting a new unit of Hastati here. Because I figure I don't need to make peasants yet, I'll probably be able to reinforce these armies down the line. Next, same thing here, leave behind 1 unit of Equites to see what Corinth's order actually look like. And they need it down to low as well. And they will be making Hastati as well. Since I'm making reinforcements, I will continue to make Principes in Sparta. This Equites gets on the boat. And we are going to siege Therma. I'm kind of shocked the Brutii haven't done anything about this yet, but whatever. Theoretically, the Greeks can just come over here and attack my boats immediately. So I kind of want to put them back in this port. But I figure if they get attacked, they're not going to die, and they're going to retreat back to this port anyway. So instead, I'm just going to leave them right where they are. If by some miracle that this happens, my boats don't get pushed back, and the Brutii don't take Apollina, I will just get in the boats, sail down, and use it to move to Apollina and siege that. Or just drop them off here to get them up faster, because walking around through all this is fairly slow. Oh, someone's retinue expanded. I got an exotic slave and +1 influence on my faction heir over here. I did make this guy my faction heir, didn't I? I didn't. I should have done this forever ago. I'm making Quintus Julius my faction heir. And I think that's actually everything for this turn. Oh, that's so nice. I was just thinking, man, I should have done this manually during my turn because now I've lost the movement. But one thing the remaster actually did change is if you get blocked on planned movement during the end of turn phase, you can continue the movement now. It stops ending the turn. That's very nice. Looks like the Greek Navy is getting beat up by the Brutii, which probably keeps my boat safe. Okay, I'm going to quickly move this diplomat since I started here. And now I need to wonder, what on earth is wrong with the Brudii? I was never really considering getting Apolline. I was just thinking I would save a small amount of movement by sailing up to here and then walking the rest of the way. But it looks like I am going to be trying to do that. Let's look at the assault here. They have 2 Generals Cav and 3 Militia Hoplites. This could actually be decently nasty. Well, it's really more like 2 Militia Hoplites. I'm trying to imagine me getting a good result against Hoplites in a city square with 2 General units, and I'm just not seeing it. Not with this army of mostly Hastati. Okay, I just realized something very important that I was being stupid about. If I just open the walls and let Cassius Brutus walk in and use all of his troops, I imagine I'll get through this with minimal, if any, losses. So I will absolutely be fighting this battle manually. I'm just gonna let my allies do all the work, like, you know, a true Roman.
Brave warriors! I have one great...
I can't really listen to that victory speech in good faith, since I know that I'm not actually going to be doing any fighting myself. Put my mercenary peltas in loose formation with the ram. Pull back everyone else. Cavalry in the back. Hastati in the front. Peltas behind the Hastati. Start battle, kill the gate. And this is just a situation where I'm going to knock down some holes in the wall while I wait for the Brudii to move around.
Our soldiers have done their work well.
And now you can see the Brudii scatter and start coming around to this side. And I would love to tell you that I have some sort of strategy here, but I'm really just going to watch the Brudii. I'm not going to do a damn thing myself. I think the Brudii can get through this on their own. They've just walked around in range of these towers, haven't they? It's just a trail of dead Romans. Hey, they're not my units.
Have captured the walls. Now is the time to press on and capture this place.
Our soldiers is a very generous description. But yeah, it looks like the Julii don't have to do anything today. This is, a little bit gross. Come on, guys, I believe in you. They also ran their general around in range of the fucking towers. Oh. Looks like the Brudii army has really not done much other than tire them out.
Allies have lost their leader.
At least I was like, that was the Brudii faction leader.
Your allies are no friends of Rome. They are running from the field like cowards and turncoats.
Oh my. Well, that wasn't the way I intended this to go, was to kill the Brudii faction leader. But hey, I mean, it is good, I guess, to kill my rival's faction leaders through gross mismanagement. I think the only reason this says victory is almost a certainty is because he's stuck fighting these routing troops. I will send my general to charge in, though. I won't bother with the light cavalry, that's not going to do much. Oh, one of my units is actually routing. Probably in large part due to the fact that, I just can't really get all my units in here. Let's blow the horn to stop my routing units from actually routing. I am just astounded every time I see the enemy's cavalry tearing everything apart.
The enemy general is killed. Fear makes a home in our enemies' hearts.
Man, that did not go well for the Brudii, did it? Alright, the Brudii army is thoroughly routed and destroyed, their faction leader dead. But they did manage to tire out the enemy general so I could kill him, so I guess that's something. I lost 1 unit of Hastati along the way, really more like 1.5 units. And right now I'm just getting all my units inside the walls and I'm watching what the AI does. I believe they may have realized that continuing to walk forward isn't in their best interest. No, they haven't, actually. And also, all the cavalry is coming forward, which is very good for me if they actually continue it. I want to get these slightly more dense than they currently are. Yeah, they're not actually even going to walk all the way up to us. So instead I'm putting everyone on fire at will, and I'm just going to put it on double speed for a while to see if they'll actually come engage me. The answer to this looks like a resounding no. So what I want to do is send my Principes and my Peltast over here. My Stati. What on earth are you doing? How could you ever think that is the correct way to Pathfind over there? It is longer in every conceivable way. I'm just having my Equites charge this unit of 5 Phalanx Pikemen. They're not enough to meaningfully impact a battle in terms of their actual units and strength, but they are enough to ruin pathfinding as my units will hit this and just stop moving. Yeah, and they rout as soon as they're near enemies, so this is just an easy chance to run them down. I have my Principes start trying to charge as well. So it looks like the generals aren't actually interested in coming out to meet me, which is unsurprising, but disappointing. If you asked me how much damage do I think the Brudii are going to do, I would never have said they won't even deal meaningful damage to one unit. This went sort of spectacularly poorly for my allies. I'm gonna have my general try to just move further up and get in this position. I don't think the AI is going to be able to do anything to stop him. I suppose it's not true that they didn't do any meaningful damage. They did kill one unit of Melissa Phalanx. And if they want to come out to fight me, that's actually fantastic. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel a little bit sketchy about having my general be involved in any meaningful capacity.
Your gallant general has fallen and caused his
because of shit like that.
Much better to have lived.
First time commanding a battle and he instantly dies. Well, I think this is still winnable, and this army doesn't technically need a general. Hopefully it can get a man of the hour when it sieges Apollina, I guess, because I'm not going to be trying to get it a new general. I think I have to send my Equites to fight the Heavy Cav at this point. That is questionable pathfinding. I'm gonna send my Equites over here into the back of their cavalry. I'm gonna have these run to reposition around the front of the phalanx. This has just been disgustingly terrible. I have all my infantry form up here. You know, I don't know where exactly I expected them to go. Oh right, I sent them to the cavalry, not the phalanx. I feel slightly less idiotic about this now. Unfortunately, there is a chain route going on that has called everyone except for my primary infantry. I think my primary infantry is all I need, though. So let's just grind this out. Actually, no. It looks like everyone except for the Principes broke. And then decided, wait a second, maybe we should fight because we can easily win this. So I believe this is the first clear Pyrrhic victory of the campaign.
Victory! By the decree of fate, perhaps, but victory all the same.
That's a good last stand for Antigonus. Well, whatever. We won. We won in a tragically suboptimal way, but we won. This will be enslaved, and can this retrain units? We can retrain the cavalry. It's very angry. I think that's going to mean that I have to build a temple immediately. No, I don't. I'm going to start building a barracks immediately. No, that's stupid. I'm going to start building the temple. And instead of trying to retrain my infantry here, and consolidate my mercenaries and send all my infantry back on the boats, I'm going to send them back to Athens to be retrained. And I will recruit more Equites here. I'm going to recruit more Principes, more Equites, more Hastati. I don't want my army to be overwhelmingly cavalry. Here in Numidia, I will use my budget to continue recruiting new units.
Victory and glory!
And we do have a battle to fight here against nothing but skirmishers. And we will be fighting this on the battle map because we have cavalry. It's skirmishers. This should be fairly easy to win with few casualties. And after that last fight, I was not in the mood to hear speeches right now. Turn off skirmish for everyone and turn on fire at will. Start the battle. We're just gonna have my missile cavalry run close to them and throw their spears. And I'm gonna have my general charge whoever is the furthest away from the cavalry to guarantee that I'm not having him charge into the javelins. At this point, as we've caught them up pretty effectively, I am going to just issue charge commands on each of the units and try to break the army. Yep. That's about how I expected this one to go. I'm going to have these Numidian cavalry stop completely so that I can get all of the experience onto my general. Which might have been a bad idea. We're closer to the edge than I realized we were. Ah, damn. I regret that decision. I guess I'll be hunting them down again. That was a little bit too greedy, trying to get that much experience on my general. Before I leave my lands, I do want to construct a watchtower. Move a little bit westward before I do, though. And I'm just going to continue recruiting units here while I go down and conquer whatever the name of this city is. I forget its... even its exact location. It could be either of these. It really wasn't that heroic. We gave him control of an army. He had allies, and he got absolutely destroyed anyway. Heroic is not the word I would have used. Now up here, we're doing fort wall stuff. I'm going to send you up ahead so that I can have him more quickly rejoin the rest of the army. Next, I'm going to send one of these at Stadi here to this area, build a fort, and have him move down. Meanwhile, this unit just continues on its way to Salona. 2 turns left on that farm, so I don't need to do peasants this turn. I'm going to do it next turn. Which means let's try to do this siege better. And seeing it's nothing but cavalry on the inside of the walls and how fighting cavalry has been going for me, I think I'm just going to auto-resolve this on the assumption that it can't possibly do worse than what I've been doing. Yeah, 120 inflicted casualties is completely fine. And we will definitely enslave this. Let's see how hot... oh, wait. This property is going to grow... yeah, it's already growing. I don't even need to do the peasant transfer to get it to grow quickly because I'm doing all of this enslavement. Now, can this retrain units? No, it can make archers. Well, hopefully one of these can retrain units, so I'm not going to be stopping to reinforce this army here. What I will do, however, is consolidate weak units. These 10 Triarii and 73 Hastati. 69 Hastati, rather. Nice. Are going to stay behind. As are my Principes. And I wonder if at this point the army is so diminished that I shouldn't be moving forward. With more mercs on the field, I'm going to be moving forward. Alright, this is the thing I messed up at the beginning of the campaign. Move my general forwards, maintain the siege, have everyone else catch up to him. And now I can build siege equipment with them. Now Larissa, meanwhile, very upset about this. I'll make the biggest garrison I can. I'm going to make... I think making the peasants will be enough. How's my public happiness look right now? I'm only getting 15% from garrison. I have a hard time imagining I won't get at least 25% from the peasants. So I do think that is probably fine for now. I'm building units in all of my cities near the wars. Moving that onward, moving this onward, moving this to siege Thessalonica. Nothing I can do about Octavium growing at this exact moment in time. And I do have the money left to recruit these mercenaries in case I get attacked during the interim, so I'm going to be doing that. Let's go. I'm very surprised they're going for Larissa instead of trying to free Thessalonica. I'm also really surprised they didn't put their 4-star general with their stack. Every turn, Carthage does this thing where they move their merchants back and forth right there and waste my time. Not sure what's going on. I realize now that I have a spy somewhere that I'm just kind of not using. I can already basically see what this army is. Loads of militia hoplites, 2 units of cavalry, 2 units of phalanx, and 1 mystery. So I don't need to send my spy this way. I do want to see what's going on up here. There's no additional stacks coming. That's good news. So first, send this in to be retrained. And make a new one. Make new equites, make new principes. Make new principes and make new equites. And yeah, I knew more armies would be coming, but I don't think that actually gets into the city and beats it. And I do need to go on the offense briefly to make sure I only have to deal with one front. Where are my boats? They're all the way up here. I will start moving them down to actually transport units along the African coast later on. If they actually commit to the siege, I'll send 3 equites up to join with the 3 principes and easily push them away. And that will probably be a way for me to get a man of an hour sometime. Larissa is very unhappy about the fact they're under siege. So I think I'm going to handle all of my army movements until I'm down to just battles in this turn and then end the video since I've been recording for a while already. This should back off. What I want to do is move to here and then attack this one, which means the other one won't be able to retreat. I'll get to fight both armies, and I'll be able to just ambush this as soon as it comes in. This is going to be a walkover when I do it. I need to build a fort here. This is going to siege Salona. Just build a load of battering rams, even though we really only need the 1. And we need 1 more forts up in this region, but for the time being, I don't have anyone to put in it, so I'm going to just send you down to join the army. In terms of infrastructure, I have dropped off on building substantially as I've been funding these armies. I will recruit another unit here of... what's my garrison at? I'm only at garrison 30% happiness. Huh. I will recruit another unit of peasants. There's a small consideration of making equites and trying to actually fight this battle. Equites could also join a real army later down the line, so I will be doing that instead.
Yes, master.
Going to have my spy check this area to see if anyone's walking in from this side, and they aren't. My diplomat continues on the endless journey to reach Armenia. Okay, so that's it for quote-unquote infrastructure. Infrastructure these past many turns have just been building units and fort walls. But by the time I've consolidated the Balkans and got all my armies in the same place, I think I'm going to have around 3 stacks pushing together into Asia Minor and I'll be done building fort walls. I'll be building reinforcement armies in the Balkans. Hopefully I'll be able to start building a reinforcement army here and one in the Carthaginian area. So, despite the fact my infrastructure has largely stalled, I am moving towards what I want to be doing very swiftly. What is in this city? Phalanx isn't a faction leader. With so little infantry, I'm not actually sure that I could even take on this other army. I think my plan for this is actually to take the city and retrain there. Do I know anything about the buildings here? No. So after due deliberation, I really don't think I can win this battle. With auto-resolve, I mean. I think if I send my units in there, I'll definitely win. It's just a matter of doing it slowly and patiently and making sure his general fights my hoplites. But there's no way for me to reliably click auto-resolve and feel good about it. And I need to feel good about this fight because I have this stack standing next to me. And I need to at least be able to hold the city in a siege while I send reinforcements up. So I'm not going to be doing this until next video because I've been recording for a while as it is. I will, however, quickly wipe out this army. Exact same plan as last time, which is just Peltas in front, cavalry in back. If I'm facing them, that means Oh, I should have attacked the other one. I meant to attack the smaller units so that the reinforcements would appear on the
The
side.
enemy have brought up more
Well,
men.
ignore me. I didn't think they'd be showing up here. So I want my Peltas just here in the middle. And this is going to be very sad. Just going to charge directly into them, and it's going to kill them all. I don't think they even have time to throw off a volley of spears.
The enemy general flees. Press forward so the spirit of his
Yeah,
army is broken
that's about right.
too. Gods be praised.
Alright, and now we're just going to hang out for a little bit to make sure that I fully recover my fatigue before we actually push into the other army. I don't want to be warmed up, I want to be fresh, which I am. Alright, this is good enough for me. I don't want to actually be in range, I just want to get everyone in position and see how they react. This is probably around the point where the enemy starts being very worried. And I can actually just start pushing them around with my cavalry, because I think they're going to be on skirmish and they're going to try very hard not to be next to me. Oh, it looks like they're trying to engage in melee for some inexplicable reason.
The gods have filled the heart
Yeah,
of the enemy general with fear. Now he flees.
3 units of skirmishers isn't going to do particularly great against any amount of cavalry. I wonder if I should have pulled my general out of this because these team invading cavalry haven't handled on their own. And, like, actually all the way out of the battle, not even brought him to try to get man of the hour. Let my general get the rest of this experience. Oh, actually, we're pretty close to the edge of the map. Let's not make the same mistake as last time. And just triple speed or whatever this is. It's just jarring to see casualties like this compared to what I was doing earlier in the video. Oh well. I accepted that I've played horribly this video. It'll be fine. At least it was a funny kind of horrible. And he will spend his next turn going to find the city and eventually conquer it. And hey, he became a good commander. He's going to need that for his eventual war with all of Africa. Which means that all that's left this turn is the siege of Thessalonica, and I am not willing to do that right now. The video's been going on for a while, so. This has been Rather Than Incoherent. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube algorithm jazz. I'll see you around.